You're saying that she did talk about the economy enough, but she didn't talk about it the right way. Is that what you're saying?
I said
Because she
she
talked
had
about the economy
some,
constantly.
she had some strong policies on the economy. Her
Right.
bigger focuses was on democracy. They did a lot on reproductive rights. And she had a handful of policies: home ownership, $25,000 credit. She talked about if you're starting a business, $50,000 tax write off. So she had a
Raise the minimum
handful of,
wage.
huh?
Raise the minimum wage. Stop
She did
corporate.
not talk about raising the minimum wage. She
I heard
didn't.
her talk about it
I didn't hear
when
it.
Trump went to was in McDonald's drag, and then she called the minimum wage a poverty wage, and or what
Okay,
folks
well
had a
maybe I
neurological
missed it.
breakdown.
Maybe I missed it,
Yeah.
but I was looking for that. I gave the example and I made a video. So anytime I criticize something, I actually
Mhm.
put in place what I thought should have been discussed. There's a large group of people that never lost their job, but so they didn't change jobs. They didn't get the bump from, okay, I go from this job to that job or whatever. They work in the same job, making the same wages over the course of the Biden Harris administration, and they saw their rents go up, they saw their grocery prices go up, they saw everything go up. There needed to be an economic message for those people, for the people that are just trying to get by, not for the people who, oh, I want to start a business. Oh, I want to have a family. That's good to have messages for those people, but you also need a message for the people who are just trugging along and they're like, damn, chips is $6. Damn, rent is up again.
Yeah. I feel different, Reese. I think
You
even if
think
she
she
would
had a
have had
message
that,
for that?
I think she had a better message than Trump on
No, but
that.
it's not
Abs-
about better message than Trump. I'm
no,
saying,
no,
did she have a message for that?
I do. Now, but this is the way that I'm looking at it. If I'm looking at there's two candidates,
Mm-hmm.
I know that the playbook is uneven, but if there are two candidates, there is one who was talking about the economy, and there's one who said childcare isn't that expensive.
He did say a lot of
I
stupid
mean,
shit. Yeah.
I could go on and on about how crazy it was, right?
Yeah.
But
He said a lot of dumb things.
I really think at this point, Reese, that even if she would did the pitch perfect Leontine Price, I love Leontine Price. Leontine Price hitting the notes on the economy, I don't think it would have helped. I don't think she would have won the election
I
because people
disagree.
don't care about the economy. They act like they care, but they don't. People don't understand what the economy means. People go off their feelings. They go off how they're feeling. And the Republican Party, they don't work off policies. They work off feeling. They work off of a demonic, hateful feeling. How can we make you hate? This is beyond racism and sexism. This is the feeling that they give people off of the otherism of it all. And even in the debate, she mollywopped him
She did a
on the
great job in the
economy.
debate. Yes,
She did, yeah.
absolutely.
So
I
I don't,
agree.
I
I'm
and
not
I
saying
could be
she was a
wrong.
bad candidate, but what I'm saying is she did not have an economic message for the group of people that I
I don't think
identified.
it would have helped. I don't think it would have helped.
So you think that 10 million voters out of, she couldn't have gotten any of the 10 million voters at
I
all
don't think she would
if
have
she
won.
had a better message on inflation and the economy? You don't think that she would have gotten 100,000? All
I
she needed was 100,000 extra people.
I think she
Out of
had
10 million, all she needed was 100,000. That's the difference
I
in
think she
between her
had a
being
good
president or not.
message. I think she had a compelling enough message on the economy, but I don't think economy messaging would have worked. I mean, Hillary Clinton had a good message on the economy. I don't think it would have
But
worked. I
but
think that at the end of the day,
Hillary Clinton was running when the economy was strong. The economy was strong on paper, but you had people that did not experience the gains. I experienced great gains. My income went up. I
I
started a business. I started all kinds of stuff, but not everybody felt that. And I feel
I
like
guess
there's a
I
blind
struggle,
spot.
Reese.
But
But why
like
would you go
how?
back to the guy who gutted the economy? Like, just I can't even. They went back to the guy
Because
who gutted it. It's like a foreign language to me. You went
a
back
lot
to
of
the
people didn't
motherfucker who
go back.
destroyed it.
No, a lot of people did not go back to him. 10 million people sat out. It wasn't that
No, I
oh, you had
understand.
millions of people go back to, oh, let's give it back to. You had 10 million people sit out, and I think they're fucking assholes for sitting out. And I think that they had all the information that they needed to make an informed decision to understand the gravity and the necessity of it. However, the reality is that races have to be won, regardless of how self-evident it is or whatever. And I begged and Clay, you said the same thing the whole campaign. I don't think economic messages will make a difference. I don't think economic messages will make a difference. I
I
was
did.
saying this before Kamala was even on the ticket. I was saying it
But
about
but
Biden.
but then I saw her taking your notes. We saw her changing, going stronger on the economy. Like I remember saying, this is what Reese said 2 weeks ago. I saw her taking notes, and it didn't. Now
Well, let's take
maybe if they would have
Kamala out
delivered
the
the messages
equation.
in other places.
Let's take
Go ahead.
Kamala out the equation. Let's take her out the equation completely. Let's take 2024 out the equation completely. The midterms, if we have the midterms,
Right, right.
2028, if we have them, are going to be decided on the economy. Now, Trump is tanking in terms of his approval ratings on the economy. If Democrats can muster up a message that explains why the economy, and they're for the first time through actually no action of their own, they're polling better than Republicans on the economy for the first time. It took Trump fucking up again for them to be polling better on the economy. So it's two things that are going to galvanize people the most: healthcare and the economy. In 2020, both of those things swung in the Democrats' favor because we were in a fucking pandemic and the economy was shit. In 2024, healthcare wasn't even an issue, which was a mistake. And then you had the economy. The economy swung Trump's way because people felt like, well, shit, I haven't, experienced what I need to experience. So
But
Trump,
if
I was
elections are
better
won
off
on
on
the
Trump
economy, if elections are won on the economy, Reese, then why, when Democrats have a good economy, they lose? I mean, Democrats will
because
have a good economy, clean the shit up, and then
right.
Republicans will win.
I know. Now that's stupid. That's dumb, right? But I'm just saying that the reality is, and I know people are probably frothing at the mouth right now, but the reality is the Democrats' economic messaging needs to be better. I don't get take Kamala out of it. Kamala was perfect. She ran a perfect campaign. She spent $1 billion and lost, but she was perfect. Everybody's just racist and sexist. Okay, fine. That's fine. But I'm talking about going forward. We have to get better on the economic messaging. And I think we have better economic policies. It's not like we're Republicans who have fucked up economic policies and you just have to gaslight and lie and then deflect in order for people to not realize how bad your policies are. We actually have good policies. We just do a shit job of communicating how good the policies are. But to Rahm Emanuel's point, any person saying that Democrats ran on trans, any Democrat saying that Democrats ran on so-called identity politics is full of
Same,
shit.
same.
It's completely full
Fucking
of shit.
lying.
And it's just their way of signaling to white voters, hey, I'm a safe space for you. Because that was not a cultural identity driven campaign from the Democrats in anywhere in the country. It wasn't. And I don't think that worked in our favor. I think you can't run away from your identity. You have to lean
Yeah,
into it. You have to. And we
absolutely.
didn't. And then there's studies on who stayed home. It was Biden voters that stayed home. It was
Absolutely.
people that vote for us that stayed home.
Well, last thing I'll say, I mean, I agree with you on a lot of the points. I just struggle with it's the economy, it's the economy. What I think we will agree on, if Democrats want to win, Don Lemon and I were just saying this a couple days ago on his show. Maybe you can deliver a good message, deliver at the right places,
Yeah.
repeatedly,
Yeah,
not just
repeat.
once,
Yeah.
not just before the election, like now. Coming to places and deliver it over. Don't have your little media elitism.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I saw some great things Kamala Harris was saying, and we tried to do a town hall. You know this, Reese, even before she came the VP pick. And I'm not saying we would sway an entire election. I know we have a strong base in Georgia. I do know
Yeah.
that. I mean, we those states were lost by a few thousand votes. Hell, we sold out Georgia 4 times. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying, I'm just saying, like, deliver, come make the choir sing. And so I think if people aren't hearing it, the bass, if they aren't hearing it, that's part of the issue too.
Well,
So
I mean, I was on a Zoom in October, and they were talking about how they're struggling in North Carolina with Black voters. Not to say that Black people are at fault. It's not our responsibility to hold the country up on our own. But this party has just as much work to do with, and actually I feel like even more work to do with the base than they do when they feel like they got to go out and repair things with white voters. They really got to repair things with the base, because there's a disconnect there. 10 million people stay home. A lot of those people look like us.